Happy birthday. I don't know if I want to reveal her name, but said, did you have fertility issues? Many of us do, so it's always good to hear a success story. Please share if you had to do more than the baby dance. Well, yes, I did. I actually did. And for some of you that know, I miscarried just recently. Yeah, like about a year ago, I miscarried. Yes, I was pregnant with the 5th baby. I was also pregnant before my first son, and I miscarried the first baby as well. And I never actually ever had a regular period. I never did. For some reason. So I was very irregular. So having irregular period all my life was very normal thing for me. So me having 4 kids, I really think seriously sometimes like wow, because when I was growing up, because my period was so irregular, I really thought that I couldn't have babies at one point of my life. So we actually got pregnant on our honeymoon, me and my daddy Tang. And I was pregnant. I did not know I was pregnant till I was like 5 weeks into it. I was bleeding one day and I went into, I'm gonna leave it down because it's like a serious talk, you know. I have to have my mind to set up. I only have one more tofu left, so that's what I'm gonna eat, you know. I'm just gonna eat my portion and that's it. So I actually didn't know, but I started bleeding, but it wasn't like a period bleeding, it was weird. But I just had a sense that my body was not normal. So I decided to take the pregnancy test because on the honeymoon, obviously we were trying, you know? So I found that I was pregnant. Now my husband, he always wanted to have a big family. Us having this 5 kids was mainly his idea because he wanted to have more kids, like a lot more kids, and he wanted to, you know, like get his Tang out there, I guess. So when I found out I was pregnant, I went to see my doctor, which she was very experienced, and she actually delivered my first son, Jaden. That was her last delivery, and then she retired. Wasn't that special? She delivered for over, I don't know, I think like 40 years, 45 something years. She said she delivered like thousands, like we're talking maybe not 100,000 but something like 20-30,000 babies all her life, you know what I mean? And she was very, very upset, and so she ended up staying for the whole pushing, and I had like 18-hour labor, I think. Oh my god, it was really long, but she was there the whole time. But anyways, yeah, so she told me, so I went to the doctor and said to me, and then so I said, oh my gosh, I'm bleeding, and she said, come in, you know? So I go in there and then she checks, right? And then she looks really bad. Like I could see like something is wrong, right? Then she's like, yeah, I don't really hear the heartbeat. And I'm like, what do you mean? And then she's like, what does that mean? And then she's like, well, I don't want to say it, but I think this is not a good pregnancy. And I said, what does that mean? I don't understand. Because it was my first baby. And I'm like, well, what do you mean by this? Then she's like, let's do some testing and I'll call you back tonight or something like that. I can't remember. And so she did, and then she called me back. I went home like crying, sobbing, and my husband knew. He was waiting, like he was so excited. And then so I came home, and then he said, and then she called me back and she said, I'm sorry, but I think you have to come in a couple days, maybe like 4 days or something like that, and you have to terminate the baby. And I'm like, what? I'm sorry, I'm getting shivered, but just me telling the story. I'm like, what? And then so she was like, yeah, I don't think it's a good pregnancy. So she told me it was like, you know, I was pregnant, the baby was in the right place and everything. It just wasn't having a heartbeat. So I am going crazy. On top of that, my surgery or whatever is in 4 days. So can you just imagine, you know, you have baby in your stomach, but you have to say goodbye. So I understand those people out there that's been through this miscarriage. I do understand. I don't know. Some people have like still baby. This is when you're up to like 8-9 months and then you lose a baby. I mean, I can't even imagine how that would feel. Or like, you know, giving birth to a still baby, like a dead baby. That I don't know. It's just, oh my God, just thinking about it just really hurts me. But I went through the same thing, and I remember lying down on, the surgery bed, and they were putting me to bed, and then I was crying, I remember, and I said, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. I remember having tears, and I slowly drift off to sleeping. I don't remember, of course, what happened, but I do remember getting up, because I remember the first breath I took, and then, oh my God, it didn't even take me 3 seconds, but I started bawling my eyes out. I didn't have my eyes out, but I was like, like that was sobbing. I was sobbing and sobbing, and the doctor came over and she said, Mommy Tang, stop, you need to stop. And I was like, oh my God, I was a mess. And she was like, oh my gosh, I think she needs like, even like a psychologist or something. Oh. So she told me, she's like, oh my God, she's like, oh my God. So she knew I was so hurt. And I came home for almost 6 months. I was such a mess. Me and my husband, Daddy Tang, we went through such a dark tunnel those 6 months, because I got pregnant with Jaden after 6 months later. But those 6 months, it was, I'm telling you, it was really bad. Some couples, they take it very well, and they're very understanding, and they talk to each other, and they hug it out, and they love each other, and okay, it's okay, everything will be fine. Me and husband, we were young, and because you remember our relationship, remember how we started off like, what? So we weren't like that. We weren't like that in the beginning. We were kind of like, I used to come home and be upset and don't talk to him. I'm in a really bad mood, and then I don't talk to him for like days. I just don't want to talk to him, and then that would get him mad. So he'll do something to piss me off, and it was like, it was so bad. So my doctor, of course, said to me, 3 months, you can't get pregnant because you need to get your body, blah, blah, blah. But then she did tell me this, okay? I don't know if this is true or not, but she said you need to take prenatal vitamins like it's your life. She told me this, and she's been delivering babies for so long. I said, what do I need to take? And then she prescribed me this vitamin, and I actually took it. I took it for like 6 months, like that was my life. This is death or nothing, you know what I mean? I took it like not even one day forgetting about it, and I took it, and then I got pregnant with Jaden, and then I delivered Jaden a healthy baby. Now, I am not saying the vitamins will cure you. I am not saying that, okay? Because if you have some kind of problem with your body that you can't get pregnant, vitamins is not going to help you. Supplements not going to help you. But what I'm trying to say is, if you're a vegan, right? Just because you're eating a vegan diet, that doesn't mean that you are getting all the nutrient in to your body that you really need. So you really, I did this at 5 Awesome Vegan. I talk about this, but you really need to get a blood test done, and then you really need to see if your levels of like calcium, your protein, your iron, your vitamin D, A, C, whatever. You need to find out if they're in normal state, especially if you are trying to, have a family and stuff like that, because you want to take care of your body before you have baby, because after you have baby, you don't have time to take care of yourself for a while. If you're gonna do like, breastfeeding, and oh my God, those endless nights that you have to be up, it takes so much out of you. Right now, I'm here with you guys talking and just doing mukbang, so I look all relaxed and stuff, but 10 years of my life, good 10 years of my life before my mukbang started, that's all I did. All day, I did baby stuff, I breastfed 18 months for each baby, 4 times, 18 months. And I think Amber and, not Kayla, Amber was on cause this is when I went I don't know what I went through. I was doing the whole cloth diapering. So I didn't even use any disposable diaper with her. It was all cloth diapering. It was crazy. And I was taking care of other kids at the same time. It was just, because I want to be like, oh, I want to do this all from scratch, kind of thing. But then the story continues, because I have 4 beautiful babies, and I got pregnant with the 5th one, but I wasn't really taking the vitamins then, because I was eating a vegan diet. I don't know if this has to do with it. I really think it's all meant to be, but I wasn't taking vitamins either then. And I was just like, oh, I'm eating really healthy vegan, so I think I should be okay. So I took it, but I skipped a couple times here and there, you know what I mean? And also I was older. I was like 39, you know, whatever. So maybe it's just everything. I don't think, maybe it's just not meant to be. That's the point that I'm trying to get. Don't hook yourself into that stage of your life and make that ruin who you are. You know, sometimes you're not meant to have what other people have. Sometimes it's not. It's not about that, I really think. And some of you might say to me, well, Mommy Tang, you have 4 kids and you have all this, so it's easy for you to say. Maybe. You're right. You're right. I don't know. I don't know where you are. But people do ask me, how did you go through it? How did you do it? This is just me, the way I went through it. I really went through it by seriously looking at myself instead of trying to have other people look at me and say, feel sorry for me. You know, look at me, I need help, you know, like I'm in pain. Like I went through that stage so many times trying to knock on my husband, like, look at me, I'm hurt, me. You know, I even did it to my kids. I was like, oh my God. And that just created such a bigger hole for me. So the day I realized this, I just said to myself, you know what? There's nobody out there that could fix this except yourself. So I started looking at myself and I started questioning myself. I started asking myself and I said, let's do this, telling myself, you know? And that's when I started picking things up in life. And that's when I started being happier, you know? And then that's when you start realizing, because sometimes you live within the grounds of those moments sometimes, but you have to realize everybody will have ups and downs. And when you're on the rock bottom, that just means that there is up waiting for you. That's what it means, you know? And just be careful. Some people go to the very, very high. You know, they're about to drop soon. But some people, they're like, yeah, man, I'm at the top. And they're being all conceited and all this, you know, and then they don't know that they're about to drop down soon, you know? So everybody has that. So it's really important. I tell myself all the time because, you know, I told my husband the other day, I said to him, I was like, Daddy Tang, it's kind of scary that I'm getting all these subscribers and all these views and all these comments saying that they love me, you know, like I'm kind of scared. And I talked about this before. Remember how like I want to control myself? And I'm so lucky that I have, you know, sisters and parents, even my kids, they all tell me, Mommy, like, don't do this on your video. You did too much of this. Or somebody would just, you know, even you guys will leave a comment saying, Mommy Tang, don't do this. Like even this thing right here, you know what I mean? Like you're getting me dizzy. And I was like, okay, I'll try, you know? So I'm very lucky that I get so much feed, you know, so that I could stay in control, I could stay grounded. But for those of you that's in a very depressed kind of, like, it could be whatever. Maybe you're going through like a divorce, maybe you're going through, I don't know, maybe like illness, maybe you're going through, I don't know, like financially you're very like, you know, stressed out, whatever your rock bottom might be. Just hang in there. Don't give up. Just hang in there and don't worry. It'll come. The ups will come. You just have to stay strong and then just take care of yourself. Eat good food, you know, go get some fresh air, go for a walk. I don't know, talk to a friend. I don't know, maybe you could save money and go on vacation. I don't know, there's so many things to do that you could take care of yourself. So that's what I want to say, because I got this comment a while back and I wanted to really talk about this, but you know how my channel is all about being joking and stuff like that, right? But I told myself, I was like, maybe maybe not all of you, but just a couple of you really needed this from me, because this is the way I see. Sometimes I really wonder, you know, there's so many of you guys watching me, right? And I wonder, you guys all say you love me, and you know, I watch you at night, and I think to myself, these videos are long. These videos are 30 to 40 minutes. That means you have to take 30 to 40 minutes out of your life and watch me. Do whatever, you know, tell stories or whatever. And I somehow got really sad because I kind of felt like, I really think there are some of you out there that are so lonely just watching me and like being almost like a friend on YouTube. And I find that very sad sometimes, because I remember I used to be like that. I used to be very sad and depressed living in the dark, you know, and then I used to do stuff just to get my mind off of things. So I really, really, really want to tell you guys who are like that, just watching me in the dark and just kind of like, oh, you know, I wish. Don't wish. Just get out. It's not that hard. Trust me, it's not that hard. All you have to do is just one day get up and say, this is it. Today is it, you know, and then just open up the blinds, you know, and get all the dust out and just wear something new and just go for a walk and just get fresh air. And you tell yourself, I could do this. I could do it. You know, I'll move forward. And from that, yes, you'll fall. Of course you'll fall. Everybody falls. If baby starts to walk, when you teach a baby start to walk, you know how many times they have to fall before they start running or start like, you know, riding their bikes or riding whatever. So that's the message I want to tell you, because yes, you know, it's fun being, you know, like cliffhanger, and it's fun and it's good to know the recipes, but you know, I want you guys to know that there's real mommy Tang out here that's really thinking about you guys as well. So that's the message I wanted to give you today. I hope it wasn't too serious.